If your Alaskan cruise calls at Skagway, then you've probably taken a look at this excursion. In a change to our usual programming, we're going to take a look at the White Pass train. Hi, it's Linz from Sweet Natured. As always, I'm joined by Marky.
Hello.
Hello, who put the video together. And this is my first time watching, so let's see what we can see.
Well, as you said in the introduction, Linz, today we're doing something a little bit different, and that's we're taking a look and a review at an excursion, which we very, very rarely do. But this is one that's at the top of a lot of people's bucket list.
And it's also quite pricey.
It is quite pricey. Having said that, by sort of scale to Alaskan ones, it's actually quite reasonable. But we are taking a look at the White Pass Railway,
Yes.
or the White Pass and Yukon Railway, I think is its correct name.
I said train.
You said train. Train, railway, either way is fine.
Like train.
You do like a train. Now, you were really excited about this one, weren't
I
you?
was so excited.
Now, we talked about this and we did a lot of research on this one before we went as to whether to book direct, whether to book through the cruise line, whether to go on what we'll class as standard class on the train, or whether to do the luxury one, and we'll touch back on that later on.
Yes.
We eventually decided to book it directly through the cruise line, and we did that whilst it was about £4 more per person than booking it directly.
Yeah.
It has a couple of advantages. The first one being you board it pretty much right at the side of where the boats usually dock.
You called that an advantage.
Well, I definitely think that it's more of an advantage than where the train moves up to the main station.
But the people in the station, they saved a carriage for them. So they got on. There wasn't as many people, but they got straight on.
They had a carriage directly for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right. There's actually a few different excursions that you can do on the White Pass, which I only thought there was the White Pass Summit when we'd looked at it originally. But there's not, and there's a lot of them that are a lot longer.
Okay.
The steam train excursion
Oh, I love a steam
only
train.
runs between the 7th of June and the 13th of September, and only on Fridays and Sundays. And it is a lot more expensive. It's double the price of the normal one
Per person.
per person.
Oof.
So more or less double. It was $154.95 per person for us, and the steam train one, which goes all the way up into British
All the way
Columbia.
up.
So it, as you can see on the map there, it goes up past Fraser, really high
Fraser.
up to Bennett. Not the same Fraser, but that one's $299.
Wow.
The one that we did, booking through Princess, was $154.95.
Oh, and then you have to double it because there's two of us.
Yeah, absolutely. That's per person. Now, the more sort of expensive luxury one, do you want to just talk about that a little bit?
I wanted to do the expensive luxury one because you get to drink.
But the more expensive luxury one is
Yeah.
3 times the price.
It is. But you don't get 3 times the drink.
In fact, it's over 3 times the price.
Yeah.
It's a fancier carriage where you've got sort of more luxurious seats. And you really fancied it. I didn't, because I was like, and this excursion becomes nearly $1,000, which seems a lot for a 2.5-hour train journey.
Meh.
But having now done it,
Yeah.
were you disappointed that we didn't do the luxury one, or were we happy that we did the standard class?
Now, that is a very good question because the weather was beautiful, so we spent a lot of time on the outdoor platform between the carriages.
Yeah, which they have at the front and the back of each carriage.
And if we'd have done the luxury carriage, I think we'd have still spent a lot of time on the platform between the two carriages. So we wouldn't, I don't think, get the full benefit of
No,
it.
I completely agree. We wouldn't have been sat in the luxury chairs that much. I don't think you were allowed to take drinks out onto the platform.
I wouldn't expect so.
No. And therefore, would it really have been worth that element to it? For me, I'm really glad we did what we did.
Yes, I am. I would have felt bad because I would have gone onto the platform and not sat in the fancy coach with the fancy chairs, and you would have given me such daggers.
I may have done.
No, you would have done.
Whilst we continue heading up the mountain, would you like to just invite people to subscribe?
I would love to invite you to subscribe. Thank you, as always, if you already have done.
And of course, you can follow along on social media at Sweet Natured, and consider joining our Facebook group if you've not done already.
Okay, back train.
Back to the train. What I found fascinating on this, one of the bits that appealed to us with the luxury one is that you had your own guard in there who was giving you commentary all the way up.
All the way up, yes, like a human person.
Like a human person. When it was on the main carriages, so
Yes.
standard class as I referred to it,
Yeah.
it came over the tannoy, or from the guard when he came in.
Yes.
And you saw him a little bit
Yeah.
earlier in the video.
Yeah.
I was absolutely fine with the level of interaction that we got on people telling us about stuff. I didn't feel that I really missed out on that.
No, I totally agree.
Because a lot of the time, as you said, we were out at the back of the platform.
Yeah. Loved it.
That was like our main location. And as you can see, looking down, it was the same for a lot of the other carriages as well. People were out at the back or at the front,
Yeah.
filming, enjoying it. It was just
The air
perfect.
was so clear and crisp. It was beautiful.
And
beautiful.
the views that you got from out there, you know, even if I wasn't filming, because obviously you weren't filming, I was, then I'd have still been stood out there. That's what I was getting at. I wasn't out there just because I had a camera. I was out there because it was amazing. It's not that the views were bad inside.
No.
But getting that mountain air even.
Mounting.
was just absolutely fantastic.
Okay. I mean, can we talk about, coming on from mounting, where you should sit?
You can. Where should you sit, Linz?
Well, I would say...
On the train?
On the train. Sit on the train. On the side of the carriage, I would sit on the way up on the left.
Yeah. You don't swap halfway around. There are certainly some excursions where we've heard that the train literally just flicks around and goes back down, so you almost going in reverse and the seats flip. On this particular, the White Pass Summit, it literally turns around, it does a loop at the top, so you come back down, so you don't have to swap. I think you get better views and enjoy it more when you're going up on the left-hand side.
Yes.
Looking across and looking back down to the parks. You have to excuse the quality of the picture, but I was zooming about 15 kilometres when I take this next one in a second.
Okay, right.
To get these sort of views.
Nice.
And you say, not necessarily the best quality image, but that was our ship from 15 kilometres away.
Okay.
But I just think, as you say, on the left going up.
So the way to remember, because of how it is on the right-hand side, is...
Away from the mountain.
Well, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty.
What's that? That's how you remember which way to undo and tighten things.
A jar, no, or a screw. It's righty-tighty because you're right tight against the mountain. Lefty-loosey, you loose over the mountain.
Okay. Or just sit on the left. Or the port side.
It may be a while. You may be watching this video. You might then watch it and watch other videos.
And forget
and
which
then
one.
book it. And then you get on the train and all the excitement and you forget lefty-loosey.
Yeah. One thing that's probably is worth us touching on this, because it's only just been in the news at the time of recording it, is on occasion it does close.
Oh, yes.
Because just a couple of days before we recorded this, literally a couple of days before, there was a landslide up there. Nobody on the trains or anything like that, but it blocked not only the railway line, but the road.
Yes.
And this goes back to third-party excursion booking itself or via the cruise line.
Yeah.
They then had to get driven overnight, the people who were affected on that one because of the landslide who were up on the train, 6 hours to meet the cruise overnight at the next port in there. Obviously, if you book that personally, there's a lot more expense in there. So for the sake of £5, I'd probably just do the cruise line one. Yeah. But when we got to the top, as you said at the bottom, gorgeous sunny, got to the top, there's still snow.
I loved it.
And not just a little bit of snow.
I mean, look at that. Absolutely loved it. I would do it again. I'd do it again.
I'd definitely do it again. I'd just pick one of the other routes. I'd like to do one of the longer ones. I'd definitely like to do the steam train, put my teeth back in, that goes all the way up. That just looks amazing. That's a 5-hour excursion.
Wow.
But I think that would be well worth it. And for $299 on that steam train, that's still cheaper than the luxury carriage on this one.
Yeah. Which, again, I really, really wanted to do it.
Did it live up to its expectations?
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I think it's probably one of the best cruise excursions we've ever done. I can't think of one I prefer more.
I loved it. I love a train anyway. I love a bit of engineering. I know that makes me sad, but it's true.
And this had a lot of engineering and a lot of trains.
And a lot of death.
It does talk an awful lot about the death. So would you recommend this to people then? Because it is a little bit expensive. As I say, for Alaska, not really that bad, but it is on the more expensive side.
Yes. I really loved it. And I built it up as well. So if you're just a little bit meh about it, you're going to really enjoy it.
Yeah.
The anticipation, it did not disappoint.
No. And when you get back down into Skagway, do make sure to go get one of these doughboys.
Oh, yes.
We shared one. I think it was only like $7, $8, something, whatever it says.
We were absolutely ravenous when we got back down. I don't know if it was all the fresh air, like when you go to the seaside.
And the excitement.
And the excitement of it, but... we polished this off in like minutes, didn't we? It was gone.
We did. It looks huge. It had gone about 30 seconds after you had that first bite there.
It's so
Maybe
good.
a minute. I may be exaggerating at 30 seconds. But it's a lovely town to go have a wander around either before you get on or afterwards, because the trains do run throughout the day, so you might not be on first thing in the morning, you might be on later on. Go have a look round. Mm-hmm. But we genuinely think it's one of the best reviews that we've ever... best reviews. One of the best excursions we've ever done, and worth every penny.
You know what? Maybe we should have had a drink. We've only got a juice. Maybe we should have a drink. We'd have been so much better. We gave it 10. Totally agree. 10.
Yeah, and that brings us to the end of the video, Linz.
Well, thank you, darling. Cheers.
Cheers,
Thank
Linz.
you for watching, and have a lovely day.